Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of How to Play Minecraft 1.18 edition. As a brief introduction, my name is Throwlash and I've been playing Minecraft off and on since it was first available back to the public in like 2009. So I fancy myself as an average builder, but I love to teach people, so I figured a How to Play series would be right up my alley. A couple notes before we get started. I will be playing in Java Edition 1.18, as you can see on the screen here. If you're playing in Bedrock Minecraft, this series will still be helpful to you, as I'll be going over the basics and more of survival Minecraft, and I will do my best to remember to include differences between the game versions when they exist along the way. Also, some of what I'm going to be going over may seem extremely basic to some of you, but please remember that this is a How to Play series. I'll be going over all the basics, like how to start a new world, how to move, how to craft, etc. So bear with me and all the new folks, and who knows, you might learn something new along the way. So, without further ado, let's get started. To start a new world in Minecraft, you obviously need to purchase Minecraft and download it. Okay, once it's been installed, you're going to go ahead and launch the game. So just go ahead and double click on the icon there, and you should be able to click play right away. You may have a different launcher than I do. There is a new launcher that's out. I have not downloaded it yet. I will download it soon and let you all know what that looks like. Off to the left here, you can see that I'm playing in the latest snapshot, which is 1.18 RC1. Don't worry about this part right here. You should just be able to hit play. We'll get into this at a later date. So we'll go ahead and hit play, and Minecraft should go ahead and load for us. Alright, now that Minecraft is loaded, this is the main screen you're going to see when you load it up. There are a couple things here to go over first, such as this options button here. Now in options, you can change a whole bunch of stuff right before you even load the game. The field of view up here, FOV, I usually set it to normal. Some people like it a little bit panned down, etc. All of these, I would suggest that you go ahead and start playing the game and get used to how the game works and how it doesn't for you. Then go into the options and change what you need to change here. Some changes that I will point you to are the accessibility settings over at the bottom right. Some of these, if you need them, they're here for you. Go ahead and turn these on. I will have show subtitles on just for anyone who needs them while we are playing the game. Now there are two other settings that I usually change every time I reinstall Minecraft. The first one is under controls. I usually turn auto jump off. What this will do is as you're moving towards a block that is able to be jumped on, you will automatically jump instead of having to hit in my case, the spacebar, because I'm on PC. The other one that I usually change is under video settings. I will change the brightness to bright. And that's really for all of you watching the videos, because if I were to set it to moody, you wouldn't be able to see any of the dark spots in the game at all due to recording and compression, etc. So I usually set that to bright. Once you're done changing the options to what you want, you go ahead and hit done, and then hit single player. Now if you're brand new to the world of Minecraft, this area should be completely blank. I have a lot of different worlds here, but what we're going to look for here is the Create New World button down in the bottom right. Go ahead and click on that and give the world a name, whatever you want. I'll name this How to Play Minecraft. Now here we have a bunch of options again. We want to set our game mode to survival. The other options are hardcore and creative. We're not going to worry about those today. That'll be a different date. Difficulty we'll keep at normal at the moment. I will go over difficulty again at a different date. We don't want any data packs, and I am going to turn cheats on. I don't like the name cheats. I prefer commands because cheats gives a negative connotation. Now, what I'm not going to be doing is using /experience or /give item, etc., etc. I will use this for different things, which we will get to at a later date again. There are times where I may want to go into spectator mode to take a nice picture or change the time to take a nice picture for a thumbnail. That's really all I'll use those for. There are also game rules that you can turn on and off, and as you can see, if you mouse over these, it'll tell you what the default value is. Some of them have a little tooltip, So do limited crafting. If enables, players will be able to craft only unlocked recipes. You can go ahead and read through these. If it's your first time playing, you might not know what any of these mean, so you won't have to worry about them at the moment. There is one that I usually shut off all the time, which is update fire. Essentially what that does is wood and other flammable things won't burn. And that's because as a builder, I like to put lava in places that it probably shouldn't be. There's another button over here called More World Options. Now, one of the biggest options that people will go over time and time again is putting a seed in. Now, a seed is a random jumble of numbers. It could be negative, it could be positive. For example, this is the seed that we will be playing on today. Every one of these seeds means something. You can also put things such as like your name. You could do this. Essentially what it turns into is the Minecraft game will generate terrain based on the seed. Now, throw-MC that I put in there, if we were to build a world off of that, it would generate a seed number. So that way you could go ahead and put it in your seed generator as well. Generate structures we want to keep on because we do want villages and dungeons, etc. We're doing a default world type. There's a button here called Bonus Chest. If it is your first time playing this game, I would suggest you turn this on. This gives you a little bit of extra resources at the start. It gives you some light, some food, some tools, etc. Or if you're feeling dangerous, shut it off. No big deal. We're not going to import any settings, so let's go ahead and hit Done. And after you hit Done, you can hit Create New World. What this is going to do is start world generation, as you can see here. This may take a while depending on your computer or your game system. After this is done, it'll plop us right down into our brand new fresh Minecraft world. And there we have it, our brand new Minecraft world is generated, and the first thing that I'm going to do right now is press the escape key on my keyboard. What this is going to do in single player mode, not in multiplayer, is actually pause the game. Right? This is one of the only ways, I think, to pause the Minecraft game. This is important because we're going to go over this in this episode, but once it reaches nighttime, monsters will come out, also called mobs, and they will try to eat your face, essentially. So, in this pause menu, we've seen this before, right? When the video first started, all your options are here, your advancements, which we'll get to in a bit, statistics, again, we'll get to that later. You can open this to LAN, not important at the moment, and then one of the most important options in this menu is save and quit to title. So this is actually how you stop playing. Not that you would want to stop playing Minecraft, am I right? But before I hit back to game, I just want to warn you, we're going to go over a lot of stuff right now very quickly, okay? So if you need to pause the video every now and then to figure out what I'm talking about, it should be pretty easy. But go ahead and do that, all right? So I'm going to hit back to game. And here is our Minecraft world. We can see the sun over there. As I turn, you can see things generating in the background. This is Minecraft's natural generation that happens. I'm looking around with my mouse, right? Those of you on console are probably going to be using your right joystick. It's called the joystick throw. Your right joystick. To walk, to move around on a keyboard, I'm going to use W to walk forward, S to walk backwards, D to strafe to the right, and A to strafe to the left. Okay, and if you use those in combination, you can go diagonally, etc., etc. You can look up and down like normal. And the biggest thing that you're going to be doing in Minecraft is placing blocks, or excuse me, breaking blocks. You place them after that. But before we get to breaking this tree right here, the other movement key that we need is how to jump. As you can see, if I just move straight towards this, I can't actually get up there. But if I hit the spacebar with move at the same time, I will actually jump and move forward a little bit. Now, if I don't move when I hit the spacebar, I just jump up and down, right? Steve, the Minecraft character, which is your character. Anyways, it's either Steve or Alex, can jump up I think it's 1.2 or 1.3 blocks, somewhere around there. And these blocks are obviously only one tall. They have a little bit of snow on them, but that doesn't really count at the moment because it's not tall enough to make us not be able to jump up here, right? Now, to this tree. We need to collect these wood resources because wood is kind of the first thing you need in this game. There's a meme, it's true. First thing you do in Minecraft is punch a tree. Now, if I just click once, all I'm doing is kind of hitting this tree. What I need to do is actually hold down the left mouse key, and this will allow me to continuously to punch the tree. And there we have it. A little Minecraft item block is now floating around. To pick this up, all you have to do is walk close to it, and you can hear item plops. And we get some new recipes that pop up in the top right. All right, recipes we'll get to in a moment when we open our inventory. What I'm going to do right now is punch down this entire tree so we can get all of this wood. Now, as you can see here, I just punched that leaf block, but I didn't get the actual leaf block itself. And that is because not everything that you punch is going to wind up as an item. There are going to be some things, such as leaves, and stone, for example, that needs special tools in order for you to actually be able to pick it up once you punch it. There's our piece of wood there. What these leaf blocks will do right now, since all of the log blocks are gone, is decay over time. As you can see, some of them are just breaking away. And this will happen for any naturally generated leaves. If you were to pick these leaf blocks up using something like shears or a hoe with silk touch and place them down next to a log block and break that log block, they would not naturally decay. You would have to punch them or break them with a tool. Now that we have this wood, we need to change it into something that's actually usable, because right now the only thing we have is logs in our hand. So what we're going to do is press the E key on our keyboard, and this is going to open up our inventory. You see we have a bunch of inventory space here, kind of like a backpack. These here coordinate with our hotbar down at the bottom, right? If you see, I pick up this spruce log by clicking on it with the left mouse key. It goes away in our hotbar, and if I place it over here, it shows up here in our hotbar, right? And the same with the saplings. I can click and place those. If you wish to pick up half of this stack, you can use the right mouse key, and that'll split the stack in half as even as it can. Or you can pick it up, and you can right-click in a slot, and it will place only one of the items, right? To pick up all of them, if you have a number of them in your inventory here, you can just double-click on one of them, and it will group them all together. What we want to do right now is we want to make some spruce planks. So we're going to take this spruce log, we're going to right-click on our little 2x2 crafting area here, and that's going to give us spruce planks, okay? And what we can do with these spruce planks, as you can see, it opens up a lot of new recipes here, is we can pick those up, and we can right-click in every single one of those and get ourselves a crafting table. Now, this crafting interface here is very limited. You can only make certain things in it. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn all of these logs into planks. I can do this two ways. I can just continue to click and drag them down to the inventory. I can click in here, right? And as you can see, it stacks. Or if I hold the Shift key and click right here, it will turn everything into that craftable item. Be careful, because if you only want one button and you hold Shift, you will make 24 buttons right there. So the next thing that we're going to need to do is turn these planks into something useful. I'm going to go ahead and jump up this hill. We're going to turn these planks into something useful so we can grab some of that stuff right there, that stone. Now, you remember before I was talking about useful tools that you need in order to play this game better. Stone tools are kind of your first part of tool progression in this game. Other tools that pop up are iron, which we will have to mine out of the ground. Diamond, which everyone has seen the diamond pickaxe in Minecraft. There's also netherite, which is the most new type of ore. But what we need to do first is place this crafting bench down, okay? And what we'll do is we'll have it in our hand. As you can see, I've used the scroll wheel to go over to the crafting bench. You can also hit the numbers up at the top of the keyboard. So if I hit number 1, it goes to the planks. Number 3 takes me to the crafting table. And if I point to where I want this to go, you'll see like this block becomes highlighted. And I right click with the mouse, it will actually place that block, right? Now, if I right click again, it will interact with this block as well, and that will pull up a bigger crafting interface. Now, we saw this in our little inventory before, but if we go ahead and click on this, it pulls up everything that we could potentially at some point craft using only what we have in our inventory, right? So right now we can craft sticks, we can craft spruce doors, barrels, Eventually, as you can see, it's outlined in red, so we cannot craft it right now because we need slabs. But as you can see here, we can craft slabs if we need to. What we're looking for at the moment are sticks. So we need to go ahead and craft ourselves some sticks. And right when I put them in my inventory, we get some new recipes. And one of the first recipes up at the top here, the second one, excuse me, is a pickaxe. And a pickaxe is a tool that you need to craft in order to mine stone. Now, if you were just going to go ahead and punch this stone, obviously it takes a lot longer than the logs do, and if I were to finish that, it wouldn't drop the block itself, right? But if I use the pick, it doesn't take nearly as long, and as you can see, it goes ahead and it drops stone for us, right? So we've got 3 cobblestone. Now, if I take those and these other 2 sticks here, now we have a stone pickaxe that is craftable. I can go ahead and make that stone pickaxe, and you see, now this mines even faster. So we can get all the stone that we need for all of our tools, which are an axe, a sword, and a shovel. And I'm also going to grab a little bit extra stone for something called a furnace, but that's a mystery tool that will help us later. Now you saw when I was picking up that stone and crafting this pickaxe that a couple of other things pop down over in the bottom left area, and those are called advancements. Now what advancements do is they kind of let you know that you're going in the right direction as long as progressing in this game. So the first advancement we got, I believe, was called Stone Age, and that just lets us know that we've picked up a piece of cobblestone. All right, what I'm going to do right now is just pick up all of my things in my hotbar and arrange them to how I would like them to be, right? And this is my normal arrangement for a hotbar. There is no right or wrong way to arrange your hotbar. It's really up to you. This is how I like it, with the sword all the way at 1, pickaxe at 2, and usually I put food and torches on this side, but we don't have any at the moment. We'll get to that later, right? Oh, our first day is almost over, so we're going to go ahead and use the axe to pick up that wooden crafting table, and what we need to do right now is find shelter. So we need to be a little hasty, so I'm going to hit the control key once as we're moving, which will allow us to run. We need to go ahead and find some shelter. We could use that hole that we just dug into the wall, place some blocks in front of it, and just hold up for the night. Ooh, lava. That would have been bad. As you can see, it's getting dark. But I did spy as we were going over to that hill over there, this structure right here. This is called an igloo. This is something that naturally generates in snowy terrain, right? So we're going to go ahead and see if there is a bed in here. If there is, we're going to sleep this entire first night away. Other things that you can do to pass your first night and survive your first night is you can find some sheep. Now, if you kill 3 sheep that have the same wool color and you grab some planks, let's go ahead and get in here. There is a bed. All right, we're going to go ahead and right-click on that bed. So 3 sheep of the same color with 3 planks. When you kill the sheep, they'll drop their wool. You will be able to make a bed, and what that does is, if it's nighttime, it will completely skip the night, right? So now it is day 2 in our first Minecraft world. Perfect. And as I said, some of the other things that you can do, I think we're going to use this as our first starter home. Some of the other things that you could do is you could chop down a ton of trees and make a little box with a door on it, and then call that your first home and literally just wait out the night. What that noise there was us taking damage. I fell a little too far. The other thing you could do is dig into the wall, like I had mentioned. You can go down into a cave. I think we saw one, yep, right here, right? You could just go down in this cave and then hope nothing comes out of the darkness on the other side. You could just wait outside and see all the mobs spawn around you and try to fight them off. I would not suggest that if it's your first time playing, but hey, if you're feeling confident, you can go ahead and give that a shot. But we've survived our first night of Minecraft. We've got our basic tools, and what do we do now? Well, as you can see up above our hotbar, we're getting a little hungry. That little bit of meaty haunches right there is called our hunger bar, all right? And the more damage we take, like when I fell off of that over there, I took a couple of bits of damage, and the more we run and jump and mine, the more our hunger will go down? I guess the hunger bar goes down, but our hunger goes up, if that makes sense. So, this is why I'm stalking this rabbit right here. We need to find food. Now, rabbits aren't the best source of food, but it's what we have at the moment at our disposal. So what I can do is try and chase this little guy down and hit him with my sword. I think only one swipe should do it. But as you can see, rabbits are very elusive. So I have a better way of dealing with this problem. And that involves one of these guys right here. So, if you spawn somewhere different from me, you will probably have an abundance of animals that have spawned in. Cows, pigs, sheep. There might even be rabbits where you have spawned. Rabbits, I think, are the only thing that spawn in snowy tundras like this. But rabbits love eating dandelions in this game. They love dandelions, and I believe they also love carrots. So what you can do is you can grab a dandelion and hold it just like this, and the rabbits will actually come to you. Now this is a baby, so he's not really going to offer us any food, not really big enough to feed us. However, this one right here, hopefully will have some food and some meat on him. Now, here's the problem. If I were to take this dandelion out of my hand and go to a different item, all the rabbits will jump away from me, right? But what I can do is I can, hovering over the dandelion on my hotbar, press the F key, and this will change that dandelion to my offhand. This kind of seems a little cruel, but they will hop directly towards me, and I can swipe them with my sword, and there we go. We get a little bit of raw rabbit. Now I'm going to go ahead and kill a couple of rabbits. Hopefully we can get a decent amount of raw rabbit, and we'll be able to eat this rabbit and get our hunger bar up a little bit more. And I see in the distance as I'm wabbit hunting, there are a couple of cows over here that have spawned in this bit of spruce forest, right? Which is a totally different biome from the one we were just in. And this is great because this, oh, and some chickens here, awesome. So this is extra bits of food. Here's some sheep as well. Not only is this food, but hopefully this cow with a couple of swipes of the sword will go ahead and give us, yes, some raw beef and leather. Perfect. So the leather we can use later on in the game to make things like books. You can also make armor with it. I'm going to go ahead and swipe at these cows here. Now the way I'm swiping is the same way I punched that tree. You just go up to it, and once you see that little sword right next to my crosshair, that means I'm in range to hit this cow. Now what I'm doing here is I'm actually jumping, and as I'm falling down from the air, so I'm still mid-air but falling down, I will be swiping then. And what that does is it gives me a critical hit. It does just a little bit more damage than normal. And I think I'm going to prune these chickens for their food as well. Now, as you can see, there's a couple of things between the cows and the rabbits. Oh, we just got our first seeds as well. I will show those off in just a moment. Between the cows and the rabbits, each animal has a potential to give off another piece, another item, I guess. Another piece of the animal. So the chickens in this case give off feathers, the cow some leather, rabbit hides from the rabbit, and if I can find that elusive sheep, here you are, my little sheepy friend. Sheep will give us the resource called wool, and wool is what you can use to create beds. Beds are very important because obviously we need to survive the night. Now, as you can see, if I look up at the sun here, the sun is starting to go down. The sun will rise in the east over here, and then it will come down and set in the west. So if you ever get turned around in your game, just follow the sun, right? And over here, we can see 2 bits of ore, okay? This is coal ore. It's extremely important. It helps you build torches, which, and again, oh, whoops. It helps you build torches, which will turn the lights on and keep the mobs away. It will also, coal, allow you to cook this wonderful food that we've been mining up here. I'm going to use this shovel to mine the dirt and go into the water a little bit. Up above my hunger bar there, if you saw, we have bubbles. Here it is. Once those bubbles go all the way down, if you're still in the water, you will start taking damage as you suffocate. Now, underneath here, a little bit less important at the moment, is some copper. Now, this is a new block that was just introduced, a new ore, excuse me, that was just introduced in 1.17. So we'll go ahead and mine a little bit of this as well. It seems there's only a couple of pieces here. And also over here, which I've just picked up, we have some granite. And I'll get into what granite is in a different episode. It's just a different type of stone that really you can only use for building. And it seems that the sun is starting to go down, so I'm going to go ahead and race my way back to our igloo and bring our spoils home, and I believe we might call the episode there. In the next episode, we'll go through how to use this food in order to... Oh, my hunger is a little too low. I can't run anymore. We'll go through how to actually use the coal to cook the food so we can get this hunger back up and heal that heart that we lost. Ah, home sweet home, and the sun is just setting behind those mountains over there. I'm going to go ahead and open up our crafting bench. I'm going to click this button right here that will stop showing everything and only show the things that we can create, we can craft. I'm going to go over here and click on spruce door, okay? And what this is going to do is we now have a way to defend ourselves at night. If we can't make it to our bed in time, we can go ahead and just close the door. And again, I just went ahead and right-clicked on this block right here. And if you right-click on the door, it will open and close it. All right, and we're going to go ahead and right-click on the bed in order to use the bed and take a little nap. And there is day 2 in the books. Now, on day 3, this beautiful day 3 of our world, we will go ahead and figure out how to go ahead and cook all this food, how to find some other food, because it's one of the most important things early on in the game is that you aren't really wanting for food. And then we might look into some different ores and such. But this has been a great first episode. We went over how to move around, mine things, survive our first night if you can be lucky enough to find a bed. If not, you can live in a hole for a little while. And hopefully in the next episode we'll get a good supply of food going, and maybe we'll meet our first mob. But until then, my name is Throwlash. Thank you everybody for watching. Please hit that like button if you like this video, and subscribe as well to keep up with this series. And hit me up on Twitch too, twitch.tv/ThrowlashGaming, where we go over all sorts of crazy shenanigans. And until the next time, goodbye!